Hey guys, it's Larry Greenberg, and it's not every day that one has a chance to review a $686 iPad case, but that's just what I'm going to do today. I have in front of you the Louis Vuitton iPad case. This is the real deal. I'm sure you guys are aware that there are probably a ton of knockoff Louis Vuitton cases around and Louis Vuitton products in general, but I assure you this is the real McCoy. I believe at the time that my relative received this case, it was the only one in the United States available. I really don't even see them available on the Louis Vuitton website. I guess you could get one if you really wanted to, but mostly they're available in Europe. And again, if you have a contact in the US with Louis Vuitton, you could probably arrange to get one in the US. They make two versions. I have the Monogram Series here, which sells for $686. It's a canvas case, which we'll look at in a second. There also is a leather version, which is even more. So it comes obviously in this kind of like fabric-y sleeve. It obviously came in a box as well, but I don't have that here. So let's pop it open, and I'm going to show you what this case is all about. I'm going to get right out and tell you this case is all about style and nothing about function. It's probably the least functional iPad case I've ever seen, yet it cost almost as much as or more than an iPad, certainly as much as like the mid-range 32 gig iPad, and more than the entry-level one, believe it or not. So just take a look at the case from the outside first. You can obviously see the quite recognizable Louis Vuitton monogram pattern along the outside. It covers the entire outside of the case. This case has a little functionality, but not a lot. So I'll open it up and show you kind of the suede microfiber lining. Again, it's stamped a couple times with Louis Vuitton in it. So I do have an original iPad here, which I'm going to slide into the sleeve-like design, as you can see there. Now, here's my first issue with the case. There's no way to lock this in. It's completely open on the side. There's no Velcro. There's no flap. Nothing to keep the iPad secure in the sleeve. It's not all that bad, but I do feel like it's going to fall out. If I turned it this way, you guys can see it slips right out. So, if you're going to use this case, you're obviously going to have to be careful when doing so. You can see it has a snap closure. So these two snaps secure everything in place like so. You can see it has a cutout on the bottom for the iPad 1's speakers, and then of course one for the 30-pin connector as well. On this side, there is another cutout for the mute/orientation switch and one for the volume rocker. And then on the top, you have individual cutouts for the sleep awake and the headset jack. I'm sure you can hopefully make out just how recessed that one is for the sleep awake. You really have to like dig your finger down in there to get to it. So this case does have a stand function built in. On the back, there's a separate flap which opens like so, and when you want to put it in a stand, you simply flip the cover around, and then you can see hopefully that this flap is like hinged, so you connect the two snaps on the hinged portion of the flap and lock it in place like so, and then you're able to stand the case up in a stand position like so. You obviously wouldn't want to do it the other way because there's no mechanism to hold the iPad in here. It would just flop right out. Once you do that, you can see the screen's fully accessible. The case itself does cover the entire bezel of the iPad, which I guess is nice. It just leaves the area of the iPad that's usable visible to you. The cutouts line up reasonably well. You can see they're a little bit off, but you're still able to get to most of them. When you're done, you pop it closed by removing the flap portion and then securing it back to the back. So this is kind of what I was talking about. If you were to use it this way and weren't too careful, you can see it start to slide out. So you're obviously going to want to make sure that you keep it upright at all times when you're using it to prevent your iPad from crashing to the ground. So again, you can see all the monogram Louis Vuitton stuff as I pop this open, over kind of the inside portion of the flap as well as the back, so you get it everywhere. You'll really be able to show off that trademark Louis Vuitton style if you're rocking this case. So that has been a somewhat brief look at one of the most expensive iPad cases I've ever seen. Certainly the most expensive I've had my hands on. $686, that is if you can even find it, from Louis Vuitton. Again, the real deal, not a knockoff. This is the real McCoy Louis Vuitton iPad case. So I'll put a link to the Louis Vuitton website in the video description should you have any questions about this case. You, of course, can drop me a line. Otherwise, please have a great day.